Radio Rahim here with Calvin Ford on the cusp of the big event. Now, look, you've had big events before, but admittedly, this has got to be the pinnacle thus far.
Yeah, the reason why, because when Tank signed with Floyd and Floyd's retirement fighting against Roberto, we sit right there on the last row, and now we back here now. And he's that guy. That's major.
As a trainer and having been with Tank for so much of his life, much less career, you have to plot a course, not just to raise a guy, mature a guy, but also to keep a man successful in the sport that he's endeavored. What stage of the plan are we at right now?
Right now, he's Batman, and I am Alfred. That's just it. You know, Batman gonna do what he do. Alfred just gonna say his whisper in his ear, and he gonna go out there and handle his business.
That's an interesting analogy because how much instruction, I mean, obviously you're the trainer, so you're preparing for the fight, but how much instruction is mental and preparation for a stage this big? And even for Tank, there has to be new pressures considering what might happen next if he's successful.
He's been doing this since he was a kid, selling out venues as an amateur. People that know him, they like, Tank is built to do this. It's just the thing, what you do after this one. Because then you'll become the guy.
Right.
The guy. So that's the part I'm looking forward to. Because now he's writing his story. It's like Floyd been passed the torch to him, and now you got the torch.
How does being the guy change how you deal with the guy?
I just told you, I'm being Alfred. Be Alfred. You know, you there, support him, but he still have to be the one to stir the ship, to fly the plane. And so all you can do is tell him the altitude, tell him which way the map is, you know what I'm saying? But it's his job to take that information we call studying the data.
Now, we're only one fight camp removed from a fight camp that had a lot of distractions and, challenges right up almost until the time you claim through the ropes.
That same question. What was the performance like?
The performance got the job done for sure, but you also answered that question saying that, I am here to help this man mature, and this next camp has to be more focused, and we can't have them kind of distractions. So how has these camps differed, and how has the man grown from just the guy we knew 6 months ago to the guy we see today?
Well, every camp is different because of the opponent that you're fighting. No distractions. None.
Okay.
You ain't even see us. We went off the radar. Right. We had one so-called distraction when everybody thought Floyd put him out the gym. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? He just wanted to find his own space so he can have time to think and strategize what he's going to do. Floyd's still there with him.
So that wasn't a misunderstanding.
It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was just a thing of them communicating. Tank is trying to find his own stance of being a man. And sometimes when you come up with your father, you know what I'm saying, y'all go back and forth. And that's that male thing. And you say, okay, son, go ahead and do what you gotta do. And you step back. Let him do what he do. But you smiling on the outside, seeing that he's accomplishing what you expect for him to do.
So you think Tank is past the stage of being mentored now?
Yes. He don't have no choice. Look at the stage we're on. So all you can do is shoot little things at him, tell him what's going on so he can see the landscape, and let him do what he do.
And every fighter wants to climb through those ropes confident, without a question. But is there a risk of him being overconfident or overlooking the weapons that Garcia brings?
I wouldn't say he's overconfident, but you have to have that confidence. Every great fighter had that confidence. Ali, I'm the greatest. Floyd, best ever. Mike Tyson, I'm vicious. Tank, he gonna see it this night, April the 22nd. We're gonna see it.
Are there things on Saturday night that you expect him to have to handle and deal with that he hasn't seen before?
I can't make that assumption and whatnot because he got Joe in his corner. So all I got to do is be prepared what they gonna bring to the table and just try to do what we've been doing.
Is speed a factor Saturday night?
Everybody keeps saying speed. he haven't been in front of nobody just as fast as him.
You're saying Ryan hasn't been in front of anybody as
Right.
fast as Tank.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So now when he haven't been in front of somebody that's got power like him. So them agrees that in that pot, you stir it up, you don't know what you're gonna get that night.
Most of the people who are picking Tank are picking him by knockout. I'd say even Tank is expecting to get a knockout for good reason.
I don't train Tank for knockouts. I train him for 12 rounds, What I want out of Tank is to put a hurting on him.
Is there a concern about him, if not giving away, not winning rounds early and getting late into the fight? If he can't get a knockout, like, does he have to start banking these rounds earlier than he has been recently?
I like y'all talking about that. And the story of Michael Jordan. Remember how Michael Jordan used to read how the critics used to get on him and then come down and shut all that down? That night, just be there to watch the fight. Just be there.
Are we going to see Tank with a tumbler of scotch talking about all the minor microaggressions?
Be there. I can't even wait. I'm like a fan for this fight.
Now, obviously, the biggest news of the past few days has been this purse wager.
That's real.
And no one's committed to saying that this is actually
They're
happening.
working on it. Both sides are really working on it.
We talking like contractually working on it?
They're really working on it because they want each one of them to feel the pain. That hurts. That hurts. You go home with nothing.
Who do you think is winning the mind game? Because that feels like a mind game to me. If that actually gets signed, which I don't think it's ever actually happened. I've heard fighters do that for years, but
I ain't never heard. But
they say that, but they never do it.
If that happened, man, it'd take boxing to another level. Am I right, bro?
I mean, it would be a first, which is hard to do in this sport.
Why it's hard to do? Everybody else is going to get paid except for the fighter.
I'm saying to find a first in boxing as long as boxing's been around.
You got to remember, if the fighters agree with it and willing to take that chance, it'll change boxing.
In the ring on Saturday night, do you think that Tank will have to take chances that he hasn't had to take before? Will he have to be more vulnerable to get the win?
Ron say, "Oh, Tank get hit too much." Everybody say Tank get hit. Just fighting. Tell me what fight that you've been to nobody get hit. Tell me.
I mean, of course, people get hit, but there is getting hit too much, which, can lose rounds, which can, create, especially if the fight goes late, it hurdles.
Like I said, if we in the point factor, yeah, you have to worry about that. But we in the hurting factor, we ain't worrying about that. You hear what I'm saying? Do you really hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're saying inside of 12, this fight is going to be over, so you're not worried about losing
always
rounds.
Say Tank can get you from 1 to 12. It's a 12-round fight.
Are there any things that do concern you? I realize that you don't believe Tank is going to lose, but
it doesn't concern me because it's a fight. I have to wait and see what's the challenges that in front of me that night.
what were the improvements that you felt like you needed to make after Tank's last fight?
Nothing really, because that was a good fight. When I went back and watched, they were shooting it out, man. I mean, he was rolling with shots. He was shots that we was actually working on. I seen them, everything that we work on, I've been good with it, We've been excellent with it because we get the results that we're looking for, It is what it is.
Tank's given us a hit list, kind of like what he wants to do, assuming that he is successful on Saturday night. The path you see for him, is it now time, if he wins Saturday night, to start taking out the top of the division one after the next after the next?
If you look at it, he said this word, the time is now. The time is now. He said that. We don't care. We don't care. That's how we going at it. You either with us or you're against us.
Well, I was with you in January, physically there, and I'm with you here, physically here, and it's only April. How many times are we going to see Tank in the ring this year, especially if he continues winning?
We're hoping to get one more. See, we trying to, remember, our Tank don't fight enough. Tank cherry picking. Tank doing this. All right. We're going to give the fans what they want, so make sure y'all pay for them fights. You want it, we're going to give it to you.
So just to be clear, the time is now to clear out the 135 division?
Whatever it takes. That's what we're going to do.
And lastly, if I'm watching the fight on Saturday night, what am I looking for to let me know that things are going the way the game plan is laid out?
I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you that.
Give me one thing to look for.
Well, we both know both of them got power. Mm-hmm. Expect to see some power coming.
All right, well, you have delivered on that promise every time, so I will expect to see some power from a very powerful man in the corner, Radio Rahim.
Better known as, what's my name? What's his name? Back in the days, Coke 45.
Billy?
Billy D of boxing. Radio Rahim.
Man, listen, the Billy D of boxing, Radio Rahim with Calvin Ford.
Thank you, man.
See you in 45.
I like that. You need to add that until you see you in 45.
My new catchphrase.
Yeah. See you in 45. I like that. That's a good one. That's why I like doing interviews with you, man. You is funny, man.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to do interviews with you, man.
It's clean,
You are
man. It's clean. See you at 45. I like that.
Let's go.
Y'all just make sure you keep that here.
Appreciate you.
I like